Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Hello, folks. Welcome to episode 172 of Hobby Quick Hits. I was going to do a different show, but then I did my monthly Watertown show, and I wasn't planning on doing a show review, but they've actually been well received, but I still wasn't planning to do it. I'm not gonna do necessarily a show review after every show I do, especially now that I'm pretty much doing at least one a month. But this show, there was some different facets to it and different things to it. So I'm gonna do a show review. We'll keep it as short, as sweet as we can, but wanted to cover some ground about sort of the current landscape and my experiences, if you will. We're going to hear from our great sponsors, the Sports Card Shop. Then we'll get into the releases, product release schedule, and some hobby news. And then we'll talk about the Watertown show review.
Okay, now a quick word from our great sponsor, followed by the new product release schedule. Then we'll go around the hobbyverse to tell you all the latest hobby happenings and news. Then we'll tackle today's topic of discussion.
Hi, this is Pat Hughes, Cubs announcer, coming to you from the Sports Card Shop in beautiful New Buffalo, Michigan. The Gocher family has built an incredible place here for collectors to buy, sell, and trade cards and memorabilia. Be sure to stop by and let them show you around. TheSportsCardShop.com, connecting sports, athletes, the hobby, and collectors around the world.
Hi, this is Alan Pinkett, and I'm here to tell you the Gocher family has done it again. They've just opened up the Sport Card Shop in downtown Valparaiso, Indiana, and it is awesome. If you're a collector, you need to check this place out. Tell them Alan sent you and get a free gift on your first visit.
Let's check out this week's Hobby Wax releases. Take it away, Owen.
Hey guys, Dylan from Sports Card Shop. Let's go over the weekly releases. On the 14th, we have Panini Donruss Choice Basketball, Panini Phoenix Football H2. We have Panini Prism Premier League Soccer, Top Series 1 Baseball, Upper Deck Clear Cut Hockey. And then starting on the 16th, we have Leaf History Book Sports Edition Chapter 1, Onyx Authenticated Clubhouse Lumber Collection Baseball, Topps Chrome Formula 1 Racing. And then getting to the 21st, we have Panini Court Kings Basketball, Panini Donruss Elite WWE, Panini Prism Racing, Pieces of the Past Asia 5-Star Baseball, Panini Prism Basketball. On the 23rd, we have Panini Impeccable Football, Panini Prism Choice Basketball, Panini Prism Premier League Soccer Choice, and then moving, last but not least, we had 2023 Pro Set Metal Football. And that's it for the weekly releases. See you guys.
Let's go round the hobbyverse and catch up on this week's hobby news.
And find out. All right, the Super Bowl just ended. And what's that mean? Pretty soon here, about a week away from pitchers and catchers reporting and baseball beginning anew for the 2024 baseball season. So for whatever team you root for, it's a new year. It's a new hope for postseason glory. And with the Texas Rangers winning their first World Series last year, you have hope for your team, although they are very good and very well deserving. But what it also means is we are just a few days away from the 2024 Topps Baseball release. While I've often said that I don't open wax on nowhere near the level I did once before, a annual tradition for me is to at least open a box of the flagship Topps Baseball. I've done it pretty much almost every year since 1979. So I'm not going to try to break from tradition at this point, although I've broken other traditions. I'm not going to break this one. So new baseball season, new flagship right around the corner. Big auction news. A case never known to exist, the only one now to exist, a case of 1979, 1980 O-Pee-Chee, not the Topps, the O-Pee-Chee version of hockey. If you do not know, that is a guy named Wayne Gretzky's rookie year, the famous blue border cards. This is a case was never known to exist until this one was found. So it's the only one in existence. There is 16 boxes in this case, 48 packs per box. Yeah, that's when they used to give you lots of packs per box. By estimates, there's probably at least 25 Gretzky rookies in the case. It's at Heritage Auctions right now, and it's up to about $2 million with a week to go. Oh, snap! So it's, and we've seen what Gretzky 9 or 10s bring graded, and so that's going to drive this price of the case. So if you got a few million extra dollars burning a hole in your pocket, head over to Heritage Auctions and snap up, hopefully, or win that only existing case of 1979-80 O-Pee-Chee hockey. We'll stay on sort of the Topps, tip. UFC is going back to Fanatics / Topps here, and actually this month. They held the licensing for 12 years from 2009 to 2020. They lost it to Panini. Panini had it the last 3 years. But Topps Fanatics has acquired a multi-year deal. No specifics announced, just other than the fact that it was multi-year. And the first product release will be here on February 28th with the 2024 Topps Chrome UFC. So, me personally, I'm not a UFC guy, but with it changing hands, I expect that to be a very popular release here at the end of the month. One final story, not a good one, but your help might solve the case. Celebrity Mint, which mints coins, mostly silver coins for sports and events, for their Mike Tyson prototype coins that were mailed in October to go to the New York Comic Con, never made it. They opened an investigation. That investigation, after 90 days, is inconclusive, and the package is nowhere to be found. Celebrity Mint is offering a $10,000 reward if these prototype coins can be recovered. Again, they're Mike Tyson 4 prototype coins. They are graded by PCGS certified, and they're missing. So if you see these prototype versions of the Mike Tyson Celebrity Mint coins, please give a call to 713-597-6367.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, like I said in the opening, I really wasn't planning on doing a show review, but the show was unique enough, and my experience there enough to do a show review. So let's talk about that. I did the monthly Watertown, New York show. It's usually the second Saturday of every month in the Fachny Convention Center building. And it's a new show, started at the end of 2023. I didn't do it in the initial couple months, but have done it, I think, since December of 2023 and haven't missed yet. The unique difference with this month's show is the promoter, Andrew and his partner, they were getting were getting a dealer waiting list for tables, so they decided to open it up to a second room. So there was more tables, more dealers, and so going into this one, and I've had some very good shows for being at a smaller type venue and show. I've done very, very well, very on par with my big Syracuse shows, quite frankly, between selling my cards and the SGC submission table, and that is really, we're going to talk a little more about it, but that is starting to pick up even more steam for this show. So they opened up a second room to accommodate more dealers, and being I've had so many of these have been great in a row, I really I'm preparing sort of for a dud. That's just how kind of my mind works, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just, I kind of prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So I figured, hey, we're due for sort of a not as great show, if you will, with it opening up more rooms. Many of the dealers that would be set up would have been customers prior, so that changes that dynamic. And so I was, a little bit, I guess pessimistic, not super strong pessimistic, but a little bit concerned that this might be a down show compared to the last 3 or 4 or 3 that I've done there. So went in there kind of thinking that. Also was kind of down because the SGC submission, which normally is back in time to bring it up and take that hour drive and have people pick up their SGC graded cards, they are getting kind of crushed right now. And so, at the time of this recording, it will be here tomorrow, but did not arrive before the show. So I got a group email, and I kind of let everyone know, unfortunately, SGC is trying to play catch up, and I won't have your card. So I thought, man, that's going to be sort of a downer too, because many people who sub through me, through the bulk subbing, will pick up their previous month's order and then sub, card while picking up the one order, they're already subbing cards for the following order. It's kind of, they get their graded cards and they submit their raw cards for the next order. And I thought without the graded cards being back in time, that could sort of put a little bit of a dent into cards I receive, and people might just say, well, I'll wait till my first order comes back and then I'll sub more cards. But frankly, the opposite happened. Even people who were in on that order, who didn't come in time, still came to the show and still subbed some raw cards for this order. And many of them just said, hey, listen, hopefully this one comes back timely, like SGC had been prior to this month's order, and I'll just pick up both orders next month at the next Watertown show. So people, kudos to folks on this bulk sub. For the most part, 99% of them were very cooperative and understanding. Many of them came up to me at the show and said, hey man, we know, it's not your fault, John, we get it. So which is very cool when you get that sort of reaction, right? That could go a whole different way. Even though it's not my fault, some people don't grasp that concept all the time. But these folks have, and appreciative of that in their business and patronage. So we'll catch up there. But again, set a Watertown show record for subs, and to do that on the heels of an order not being back in time is saying something. So there's definitely a groundswell of momentum with my bulk sub business through SGC and specifically the Watertown show. There hasn't been a fairground show since the mega show in December. We got one coming up here in March here, which will be at a smaller venue because the promoter Lynn Lake show alumni could not get the fairgrounds for March, and he had already planned on doing a March show. So we're going to do it at a smaller venue, pared down, less dealers. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be on a Saturday. Normally that fairground show is on a Sunday. That part I'm very optimistic about. I'll say this till the cows come home. A Saturday show, anytime I've done a Saturday show, 80% of the time, to me, it's a better show than a Sunday show in terms of attendance, in terms of money being spent, which kind of goes one hand, they kind of go together, not all the time, but for the most part. So love a Saturday show. It still gives people and myself, right, a Sunday to relax. People have a normal kind of work schedule, if you will. I can't, don't want to paint again with that broad brush, but people work Monday through Friday. So it gives them Sunday sort of recover, spend time with family, get ready for the work week. So that show will be a Saturday, like the Watertown traditionally is. But because of that, Watertown, and they work kind of with each other, Watertown is had been scheduled for the same Saturday. They're moving their show to the Sunday. So that'll be March 2nd and 3rd. March 2nd in Syracuse at the Spinning Wheel Banquet Hall. And March 3rd, the Watertown show, which is going into a bigger room, but it'll be one room. And that'll be on the following day, on Sunday. So that'll be kind of unique to me, doing 2 different shows on consecutive weekend days. And this old guy's getting a little bit trickier, but it is what it is, right? They're still fun. I have a blast and enjoy doing it. So let's get back into the Watertown show. I kind of covered the SGC bulk subbing, so I won't beat a great dead horse there, but did very well there considering the circumstances, and really had a great show on the sales side. Again, heavy vintage, which I really need to try to replenish. Anyone listening out there has some off-grade vintage stars and semi-stars you're looking to move, contact me. I don't often do this on this show, beg for cards, but I will make an exception. I do need some off-grade vintage for my vintage box, which is done tremendously the last few months, to the point where I need to really restock it, replenish it, refreshen it up. So if you can be of some assistance, get a hold of me through social media, email, what have you. Anyway, smoke signals, any way you can. So vintage did very well, but sold modern too, very strong there. Attendance was very good. Show started off kind of slow. So the doors open at 9. I don't know what happened. I set up with my 2 friends, Chad and Nick. We were all kind of together, and my friend Nick was out in front of my table, and I'm still putting my cards in my showcase. He's like, "Dude, you're gonna finish? We're open. Doors are open. People are coming in." And I don't know what it was like. I lost track of time. I wasn't like twiddling my thumbs, but I don't know. I guess I couldn't get into gear. Normally I'm done with 30 minutes to spare, and so I had to hustle and really quickly get cards out. I always Windex my cases, quickly did that. So kind of got done at 9:15, 9:20. I don't know what happened. It was, I joked like I must have got abducted by a UFO and lost track of an hour. I wasn't there late. I got there at the normal time I normally do. It was odd. So that happened. I have a new hand truck that I employed. Big difference from my old one, which stuff kept falling off. This is one of those kind of utility carts that can be a stand-up hand truck or a rolling cart. I use it as the rolling cart form. Let my friends use it as well at the end of the show to bring their stuff out. And I'm always one of the last ones to leave. I kind of pack up methodically. So, but the show started slow. I guess it matched my speed in getting set up. It was about 10:15, 10:30, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, yeah, I guess my prediction for kind of a down show looks like it's becoming a reality. And no sooner than I said that, it just really picked right up. I mean, people started really coming in. SGC table was hopping. Some big sales. I made 3 or 4 big sales probably in the span of 60 minutes. And right there, sort of my show was sort of made. And it was still only 11:30, 11:45. And so, I've done these shows long enough. You never know. Things can happen quick. Things can go 0 to 60 very fast. Doesn't always happen like that. Nothing in life's guaranteed except taxes and you know what. And so you never assume. But when it was quiet, I'm like, man, I hope it picks up. Otherwise, that kind of what I thought was going to happen is going to happen. But nice turn in events. I didn't see a ton of people selling. I had one gentleman with three like 800 count boxes. A lot of prospects, a lot of autograph prospects. So I kind of staying away from that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but for me, like I said, I'm really slanting more to the vintage side of the house. But my buddy Nick did wind up making that purchase. Got a pretty good deal on those. It just wasn't in the market for me, but he got a good deal to add to his inventory. And Nick is kind of just starting getting into, I've known him for 20 years, but he's just starting to get into the show. He's always collected cards, but as a dealer, he's in his first year or two, and so this is the point where you need to bulk up your inventory, which he's starting to do. It's I'm 30 something years into doing shows, so yes, I do have to replenish, but I sort of have that nice base to kind of start with. So good for Nick. Speaking of Nick, he built a, you might have seen if you follow me on social media, me and my dad built a stand-up graded card case. I did a lot of the work with my dad getting older. He kind of just supervised. I'm not a handyman. I'm not a woodworker, so it came out okay. But Nick, in his 9-to-5 job, is a floorer. Works with flooring and hardwoods. And he made my friend Chad, our mutual friend Chad. We've all known each other 20 years, just to give you a quick background. He made Chad a stand-up graded card, and actually holds top loader. It's just a card case, holds about 24 cards, and using flooring, so it looks very thick wood, very sharp, but light at the same time. Stands on the edge of the table, so it creates a lot of space while showing off 24 cards available for sale. Can be clamped to the table. So when I saw that, and I looked at mine, which is taller. That one's a little bit longer, so you can see over it. Mine is taller, where you can see through it, through the slats, but you can't see over it. I got jealous, and I said, Nick, can you, if I pay you, can you make those? He goes, yeah, just buy the plexiglass to the size you want it, and I'll make it. So I literally left the show in Watertown, New York, drove 2 miles to Ace Hardware, and bought 3 24 by 36 plexiglass sheets, snapped a photo, texted my buddy, said, I'm ready, so we'll meet up. I'll get him those 3 plexiglass sheets, and so by next show that I talk about, those March shows, I should have 3 new end-of-table stand-up cases to put more cards out. So that'll be cool. They'll definitely look nicer than the monstrosity I put together. While it was functional, aesthetically, was not going to win any awards. But again, I want to, going back to this show, kudos to Andrew and his partner on putting on a great, I know I keep calling it a smaller show, but man, it's I guess it's a smaller show that dresses up as a big show. And I've been tremendously, pleasantly surprised with how the show has been for me, and I'm starting to get to know people, and they're getting to know me, and we're kind of building that repertoire, especially in the SGC bulk sub side of the house, but even on the card side of the house too. Even so, the couple complete sets, the last few that I had left, and something I had didn't necessarily happen at some of the other shows I did. So very, very happy. So we're gonna wrap up this episode there. But like I said, wasn't planning on doing a show review, but this show, I think, sort of warranted me sort of covering it and sharing some of those insights from the show floor. So we'll see you in a couple weeks here with another Hobby Quick Hits episode, probably the one that was supposed to be today. So we'll see you next time. All right, thank you for listening to another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Want to give out our social media, starting with our website, which is www.sportscardnationpodcast.com. Facebook, you can follow us at www.facebook.com/sportscardnationpodcast/ Twitter, we are at sportscardnat1, so it's sportscard NATI1. Instagram at sportscardnationpodcast, or you can email the show hobbyquickhits@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.